Palma. Oh,
Oh, man.
that's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game. Janelle Fuentes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Malonia is open. 3-point.
Goodness!
Face a jumper by Robin Celis.
Natalviano has time.
Now it gets Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
After what was a thrilling game between the results at the Mall Golden Coolers and the Davao Occidental Tigers, we are back here inside the Pasay Astrodome for Game 2 of our Monday triple header that will feature Robbie Celis and the still undefeated Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards as they stake their 16-0 immaculate record against J.R. Flores and the struggling Muntinlupa Cagers. The Cagers hope to get back on the winning run, but it will be quite the tall order against the 16-0 Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards. Magandang gabi mga kaliga. This is Javi Balanya on the call, joined by Coach Mike Perez. Miss Cindy Crespo is at courtside. We'll be hearing from her later on. Coach Mike, Muntinlupa, it was a strong start to their season, but it has been up and down para sa kanila, especially these last 3 games where they've lost big time to 3 teams that have really been solid this season.
Yeah.
Itong San Juan, Gensan, and Mindoro.
Yeah, pretty much, Javi. And it's been a tough schedule so far, this latter part of their schedules para dito sa Muntinlupa. And they're slipping, actually. And they really need to have a win right now to try and get their back on their feet so that they get back to the winning ways.
Mapapanood nyo ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino on our Facebook and YouTube channels as well as on Solar Sports now beginning itong 6 o'clock p.m. Let's go to our key players para sa parehong kupunan. Nick Demuses was simply stellar para sa Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards in his season debut para sa kanila. He played for the Bacoor Strikers previously but already made an impact for his new squad in their last game against Cebu.
Yeah, really overall effort para dito kay Nick. You know, his only struggle in that game was really the free throws, and he was 3 out of 6. But pretty much everything, shooting, rebounding, he was a double-double, 13 points and 11 rebounds, and really just a good showing for him. It was a plus 27 sa plus and minus itong si Nick, and you understand how valuable Nick is gonna be here for the rotation of the Rice Vanguards.
Well, makikita natin ngayon sa game na to, Coach, kung gaano ka-importante ang magiging addition ni Nick Demuses considering now that they're going up against a full-strength Muntinlupa Cagers. Siyempre, yung kalaban nila in their last game, Cebu, they were still fielding an incomplete roster, only played with 7 players sa laro na yun. So that was really a short-handed Cebu squad that they went up against. And itong si Patrick Ramos naman, although they lost in their last game, he has been showing a strong performance for the Cagers.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 from 3, 18 points to go with 8 assists. He pretty much has been the guy that's knocking the shots from the outside, but he did most of it in the first half. He was doing other stuff like rebounding, assisting, and helping out teammates defensively. And so you'd like to think that he is going to be so much better today, especially in knowing that this is a really good time to win here for Muntinlupa, considering you're going up against the top guns in the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards.
Well, can Patrick Ramos once again come up with a strong showing to help Muntinlupa get back on the winning track, or will the Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards stretch their unbeaten record to 17 wins? Let's go to Richard Tampos for the starting lineup.
At the Cuneta Astrodome. Let's carry on first. The starting 5 with the Season 4 champions, Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards Megabet. At forward number 8, Robbie Celis. Coming in at center number 14, Will Macaloni. At guard number 19, JV Marcelino. At forward number 25, MJ Ayay. To guard number 51, Big Bang Toto Byron Villarias. The head coach is Don Dulay. Assistant coaches Rob Wainwright, Matt Macalindal, Arnold Oliveros, Jonathan Uiloan, Rick Season, and Jesse Bartolome. Assistant team manager, Jendy Gantise, team consultant, Von Monta. Team manager, Raymond Dizon. Team honors, Ivan Cuevas, Ryan May Cuevas, and Bong Cuevas. Here's the starting 5 for Muntinlupa Cagers Lacan. Power forward number 26, J.R. Flores. Also at forward number 24, Kurt Lohera. Playing center number 13, Ledis Lepalam. At guard number 10, Puroy Kantimbuhan. Also at guard number 8, the Iceman, Domark Matiliano. Their head coach is Gino Ludovice. His assistants are Mark Dandan, Don Bautista, Chico Tirona, John Capulong, Alvin Tanyada, and Delon Hontilano. The team manager, Vince Harder. The team owners, Kaiser Galvez, Attorney Jemsy, and Aya Saicon.
Our starting five of this game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. The former champions in Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards will be starting off with JV Marcelino and Byron Villarias in the backcourt, joined by Will Macaloni, Rob Celis, and MJ Ayaay up front. Puroy Katimbuhan, Domark Matiliano, Kurt Lohera, J.R. Flores will be joining their new recruit, Ladis Lepalam, in the starting lineup. How big is this addition gonna be, literally and figuratively, for the Muntinlupa Cagers, Coach Mike?
Yeah, pretty much. We've seen his impact in that game against Mindoro. Well, when he was playing for the Cebu Greats, he was good for about 21 minutes and roughly about 7 rebounds per game. And you know that inside the paint, that length and that height is going to be something that the Cagers would really need.
Cagers get first possession here. Flores, he's been on a slump recently, Coach. Big reason why they went on that 4-0 start. But also his struggles recently have reflected the performance of their team.
You know what? That pretty much sums up how Flores has been. In their first 9 games, he's averaged roughly about 12 points. But in the next games that we've seen, at least in the last 5 games, he's only averaging about 6 points per game. And that's a huge dip in the performance of J.R. Flores. And to me, I think you guys were covering that game in Bataan. To me, that's his best performance so far. He was knocking down threes, even in clutch.
Byron Villarias hit a 3-pointer earlier para sa Nueva Ecija. Puroy Katimbuhan turns it over. 3-2 here in the early goings of this game. Villarias gets past the defense. No interior help galing sa Muntinlupa. Luckily, Byron misses. Lohera sets, fires, short on that 3-pointer.
And I love that you use the word luckily because, you know, Byron's not going to miss that close.
Oh, yeah.
On a layup unchallenged.
Will Macaloni gets on the board. Mid-range jumper for the Cebuano big man.
Will Macaloni always is going to be a guy that Coach Don Dula is going to turn to. And he's been pretty much on a tear in their last, 6 games. That's almost 14 points per game. And to go with a really good shooting clip, he makes roughly about 72% of his shots.
Two turnovers right away para sa Muntinlupa. But the fast break could not be completed by the Rice Vanguards. Flores against Celis. That's a tough shot. JV ahead to Ayaay. Trying to split the defense. Gets it back. Still a lot of time on the shot clock here for Nueva Ecija. Ayaay for 3. Bounces onto the right.
Didn't have enough lift on that shot.
Lohera in out, the cross goes up with the left, got bumped, no whistle blown. Rice Vanguards looking to push again. The kick out to JV Macaloni. That's a travel.
A good challenge right there by Domark Matiliano. But you always see that when you miss a shot or you turn the ball over, quickly the Rice Vanguards are going to run on you. And that's one of the reasons why they are #1 when it comes to points off turnovers at 20.8. They are going to make you pay every time you commit a mistake. And so if you're the Cagers right now, you have to be very efficient on your end of the floor.
Well, Nueva Ecija is one of the teams, or actually might be the only team who is in the top 5 in almost every statistical category. And that's the reason why they are at 16-0.
Yes, pretty much. I mean, #1 in points, number 1 in assists, number 1 in steals, number 1 in points off turnovers. And then they're number 2 in points in the paints and number 3 when it comes to free throw makes. And, you know, how do you beat that team?
That's just crazy. And to do it with this kind of depth, obviously, many people will really expect that you perform this way with a strong squad, but Coach Don Dulay has did a heck of a job with this squad because it really is very difficult to manage this many egos.
That is right. And you know, these experienced players, the Rice Vanguards, as you see that 3 by Domark Matellano, they're pretty much, again, I keep repeating this, they're bought into the system and culture of Coach Don Dulay. And he's handled this team, for 2 years pa lang, pero nakikita mo kaagad yung togetherness nitong team na to.
And of course, that culture also starts with their team owner, Boss Bong Cuevas, as that guy has also been the epitome of hard work and hustle, as well as leadership for Nueva Ecija in the 16-0 run, Robbie Celis.
Alam mo kung anong ano dyan kay Rob Celis? Is that he just continues to play team ball, no? Considering yung talent niya, yung skill niya, yung IQ niya. Oh man, he's not done. Even, you know, how he finishes, he's just so graceful as he goes for those shots.
At saka, sobrang simple lang gumalaw, Coach, but yet very effective. Ito si Robbie Celis as we feature him in this play of the game. Brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. No frills. Ito si Robbie Celis. Just pure hard work.
Yeah. And in the last 2 games, he's been a double-double machine. I mean, against Zamboanga, against Pampanga, it was double points, double-digit points, double-digit rebounds. 11 and 14 versus Zamboanga. 19 and 12 versus Pampanga and Batangas. That was almost another double-double where he was 14 and 8 on 9 rebounds. So you understand, he's multifaceted. He's just that talented.
If not for his efforts against Zamboanga, they would have lost that game. That was such a thrilling matchup in Palayan City.
You know, you guys being there, grabe, that was a really good game. And then the comeback too.
Everybody thought that Zamboanga would have closed it out with Nueva Ecija's first loss, but then Robbie Celis coming in late in the game. Will Macaloni getting that game winner para sa kanila. Oh my goodness.
And it was tough to really parang single out particular players kasi halos total team effort, no?
Tama ka dyan,
yung
Coach.
balik nila eh.
And when you're going up against a team as wily as the Zamboanga Sikat, you really have to have all hands on deck.
And they don't mind who's right in front of them. They are going to play the same way.
And they don't mind also who has that spotlight.
Agree. This is you would say, a selfless team.
Macaloni missing on the leaner. 5 ang hinahabol dito ng Muntinlupa. Katimbuhan into the lane. Hops inside for 2.
Good pull by Poroy Katimbuhan. He's actually one of those guys. I'm pretty sure that Coach Gino is hoping could lead them further into more wins. But in the last 3 games, or the last 2 games rather, Poroy has just been below 10 points. And so that's very unlikely. Last time he had 20 points was with Jensen, where he went 20 points on a 64% field goal shooting.
Byron Villarreal knocks it down from the outside. Specialty of the house from the former JRU heavy bomber. 13-7, 6 ang lamang ng Nueva Ecija. Flores steps out. Mid-range jumper. That's money para kay JR Flores.
And that 3-point make of Byron Villarreal is actually his 14th straight game with at least 1 made 3.
That's just crazy. I mean, it's no surprise that he's done that. He's perhaps one of the best shooters this league has ever seen.
And he's shooting 37.6% from 3. And really, it continues to be very fluid. The execution, the movement, and the togetherness for these Rice Vanguards.
JV Marcelino has also been a big reason stepping into that main point guard spot. His team up by 6. Last game of the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards was a blowout victory against the Cebu Greats, who only played with 6 players in this lineup. Let's go courtside to Miss City Crespo.
Speaking of that game, Javi, Coach Don said at the half during the Nueva Ecija Cebu game that he was disappointed with their opening performance and that they might need to go through 11 straight days of practice. But when I checked in with him earlier, he clarified, yes, they practiced the next day, mostly to focus on the team's mental toughness, but he knows it wouldn't make sense to push the squad for 11 straight days. Coach Don even shared that he asked other coaches, am I too hard on them? One of his assistants reminded him, we've been players too and we know how mindsets and effort can change depending on the opponent. Ultimately, he just doesn't want his team to allow their opponents to play with too much confidence. For him, teams always bring their A game when they face Nueva Ecija. Good thing for them, Nick and Kenneth Mocon stepped up in the third quarter. Coach Don admits he didn't expect Nick to play that well, especially since he just joined the team, but he hopes it serves as a reminder to the veterans that you have to work hard every game, every quarter. Have you, Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat, Sid. Excellent report. And, you know, sometimes coaches will think that pushing your players to the limit will always be beneficial, but then you also have to think about the struggles that these players go through, especially in a long season like this. Sometimes that is not really the formula for your players to play better.
Ako nagustuhan ko dun, Javi, is yung pagiging mindful din ni Coach Don.
Yun na nga, Coach. It was very impressive hearing that, because yeah, you know, ang ganda ng sinabi na he was also a former player. His coaches reminded him, and that, you know, sometimes you also have to think of their well-being.
Yes. At saka, just understanding kung ano ba yung sitwasyon in that first half. They were only up by 2 points at the half, and until they opened up the third with a 22-point run en route to that 31-point output in the third, to which they never really looked back. And really just knowing when to get back into the scheme of things for the Rice Vanguards. And just shows you with Nick stepping up on his very first game as a Rice Vanguards. We talked about it. This is a very selfless team.
This 3-point shot of the game is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. So Patrick Ramos trying to pick up from where he left off in that last game, where he had a strong showing of 18 points against the Mindoro Tamaraws.
And he should, because he's one of the top 3-point shooters for Muntinlupa at 44%. He roughly takes about, 2 or 3 attempts per game, and he makes a couple of them. And I also like, right now, as we see Patrick Ramos on the line, Miggy Corteza is also on the floor right now for the Cagers.
You're right. Check out our special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer.
What Miggy provides naman para dito sa Cagers is a big man that can actually finish inside the paint with floaters, teardrops, push shots, and really good on the perimeter, enough to complement against, the high IQ'd Marvin Hayes and the bold, strong rebounder in Mark Sarangay.
So it looks like Muntinlupa's focus during that trade and free agency window was really to add height.
Yes. And I think they still have, I'm not sure if that's going to come into fruition. They are looking for one more guard. As you see, another good interior passing by the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. They're so good in that department. They're roughly about 27 assists per game. Imagine a team with 27 assists per game. That is just so good.
And what's more impressive with that stat, Coach, is a bulk of that actually also comes from their frontline players.
Agree. Oh, wow.
Patrick Ramos, gorgeous shot right there off the glass. 6 points early here para kay Patrick Ramos. Celis loses it. The tap coming from Ramos, but the Ilonggo Superman gets to it. Robles, short stab, and he gets the roll. 21-15.
Now, if you're the Cagers, you like where you are right now. You're down only 6 against the Rice Vanguards in the first quarter. How much more can you sustain this? Because I'm pretty sure there's going to come, maybe in the second quarter and the third quarter, a huge run for the Rice Vanguards where they start tightening up that screw and making it difficult for you to score.
Atiliano couldn't follow up his three-point shot earlier with a basket. Hayes sumubok galing sa labas. Celis with a rebound. Marcelino, that's JC leaning in with a left and scoring.
One of the things that you like about these Rice Vanguards, they're on a catch and shoot and catch and go players. They're not holding that ball for so long. They immediately decide whether they put the ball on the floor, shoot, drive, or pass.
Well, that has been one of the main goals of this Nueva Ecija offense, is to really try and push the basketball as much as they can.
And I would like to think, just based on my observation, how these guys play, speaking of the Rice Vanguards, they do follow the half-a-second rule, wherein within a half a second you're supposed to make a decision on what you're going to do with the rock. And the other guys gotta space out real good as well, so that you allow that guy with the rock to have a really good read and come up with good decisions.
7 assists already in the game for Nueva Ecija. Jammer Hamito with 4 points. Matiliano off the curl, no good. Hayes trying to get it. Eventually gets it back, and Marvin Hayes scoring the deuce.
And they're gonna need more of that. That's where really Muntinlupa thrives on rebounds, and they're 5th in that department. Offensive rebound at 16.6 per game.
Sarangay holds down another one for the Cagers. Ramos looks at the clock. 20 seconds. About a 3-second differential between the shot and game clock.
Good clock management by Patrick here.
Ramos gets past JC. Celis with a foul. That's the last foul to give to the Rice Vanguards.
One of the youngest guys on the floor competing against this experienced Rice Vanguards. You love that, Patrick.
This is our assist of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Robbie Celis is averaging almost 4 assists per game this season.
Yeah, that ball went to the top, to the side, down low, and then back up again before that finish for the Rice Vanguards.
3 seconds left. Ramos breaks away. Couldn't get the finish. Sorry miss right there para kay Patrick Ramos, who's had a good start to this game, playing with a lot of focus and composure. He does have 6 points sa laro na to, but his team down by 8 points here. Celis and company, obviously, just like what they've been doing all season long, coach, sharing the rock and scoring efficiently.
1 quarter, 8 assists altogether para dito sa Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, and shooting 55% from the field, and just shows you the quality of shot attempts and ball movement that these Rice Vanguards have been doing. But Patrick Ramos really doing a good job of keeping this close for the Cagers.
The lead is 8 for the Rice Vanguards, 25-17 second quarter sa aming pagbabalik. Last game of the Muntinlupa Cagers was a beatdown against the Mindoro Tamaraws. And for you, Coach Mike, what was really the problem here para sa Muntinlupa?
Well, the challenge really was defending against Mindoro. The shots that were taken from 3 really forced them to close out long and opened up the lane. 18 3-point makes out of 49 attempts. That's probably about 37%. And the free throws have been really good also for Mindoro, which made it tough. And every guy, almost multiple 3-pointers by Wendell Comboy, Axel Inigo, Bam Gamalinda, Joseph Sedorifa. I mean, how are you going to defend against that? There are multiple guys knocking shots from the outside, and it's tough.
And I think the slow starts in their past few games have contributed to them falling out of those matches.
Oh. And the games are getting tougher for Muntinlupa. When you look at their early 12 games, it's almost been, you could say, the luck of the schedule, where you get middle and lower tier teams. But now as they go deeper into the season, they're going up against top tier teams. And it really started with Pangasinan, followed by Gensan, then San Juan, and then Mindoro, to which they all lost. And you mentioned this earlier, their last 3 games against Gensan, San Juan, and Mindoro, pretty much double-digit losses. That's the first time that they've had 3-game losses in double digits, and that's pretty huge.
Muntinlupa is hoping that new additions, Miggy Corteza and Ladis Lepalam, will help bolster their run here in the 7th season of the MPBL. They're currently at number 5 right now in the Southern Division. Of course, Nueva Ecija still unbeaten. Coach Don Dulay will be using his coach's challenge. We'll take a short break.
And Nueva Ecija's challenge was successful.
So it's a successful challenge para kay Coach Don Dulay. Just a short talk with his boys during that huddle. Flores had that basketball, and the pass to Corteza was definitely last touch on Miggy. So Nueva Ecija gets possession here. JC Marcelino setting up the offense against Patrick Ramos. Crossover, couldn't get past Patrick. Backdoor cut, broken up there by the Muntinlupa defense.
And again, that's just good recognition by Patrick Ramos that once JC gives up that ball, that's when the game starts, and you got to continue to chase him. And so he understood that there was going to be probably a backdoor pass, and he got in there and deflected that pass.
Marge De Leon saving the day there after that wild shot attempt by Miggy Corteza that had the defense draped all over him.
Yes. And De Leon, one of the bigs, hefty bigs that, you know, itong Cagers really hope would perform real good.
As free throw of the game brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. There you see Coach Gino Ludovice and first assistant Mark Dandan trying to find solutions to the current problems of the Muntinlupa Cagers. They're down by 10 points against the league-leading Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards.
What you like about De Leon is he's a pretty good perimeter scorer at 49% shooting from there, and so you can count on him to make those shots. What a move by John Wilson.
John Wilson had 17 points in the game against Cebu, and he has definitely not slowed down in terms of scoring. Flores, his struggles continue in this game.
That's right. Pretty much that's been the tough part. Oh, what a move.
Everything but the basket there for Nueva Ecija. The longest Superman, leaving that dipsy too short.
What you notice on that miss, Cagers tried to run, but they're not beating any white defender. Every white defender's right in front of them. Ron. Empty.
Muntinlupa now 2 out of 7 from downtown in this game. This is our play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. He's not just a sniper from the outside, but he can definitely take the ball to the rack. Ito si John Wilson.
And what's impressive is he put that ball on the floor, got past that help and that stunt by that was John or Kurt Lohera trying to dig in on that drive by Kurt earlier. By John earlier.
Kurt Lohera at the line. We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Lohera makes the first.
And Curtis has been a guy that they've turned to para dito sa Muntinlupa Cagers. Is actually their third leading scorer with roughly about 9 and third in assists as well, with almost 3 per game.
He had 15 points against the Tamarao, 6 out of 10 from the field. Turnover forced here by Muntinlupa, trying to get this lead down to single digits. More than 2 minutes have gone by here in the second quarter. It's been a slow second period between these two squads.
Well, Rice Vanguards actually started out with really good energy in the first quarter, pero to your point, medyo mas mababa, no, compared to how they started. And I feel the Cagers should start picking up on that and be more of the aggressor. Oh, wow.
The anticipation coming from JC Marcelino, and the former MVP finishes the job there for Nueva Ecija, lead back up to 12.
And that is all basketball IQ. You're on that side of the floor, which is primarily a trap area. You see a spin, definitely that ball is going to go back up the top. And to which JC played real well.
Katimbuhan knocks down that triple. Much needed basket there for the Cagers, who's only shooting 30% from the field sa laro na to.
Puroy is the leader when it comes to scoring para dito sa Muntinlupa. Matter of fact, he also leads in assists, but he's got to be efficient with the ball because he's also the top guy when it comes to turnovers. He's roughly committing about almost 3 turnovers per game, and if you're Puroy, understand the ball's going to be in your hands a lot of times. You got to be more efficient.
Meanwhile, a guy who has contributed to the efficiency of Nueva Ecija, Jammer Hamito, already with 6 points in this game. The Muses is ahead of the pack. The pass coming from Wilson, a little bit too strong, but Nick handles it. The Rice Vanguards will set it up. Wilson wants a 2-man game with Hamito, but gives it up eventually. JC. Roadblock coming from Manaytay, stolen by Raflores. Miggy Corteza, free lane. Settles for the short stab. That's good para kay Miggy Corteza.
That pretty much is what you're getting from a Miggy Corteza. 14 feet in, right there in the middle thirds of the floor. Floaters, push shots, that's pretty much his area. And not to mention his defensive effort.
The Muses from the outside. That short Hamito offensive rebound. Thought he was fouled. Definitely a hack there coming from Nick the Muses. Might have been a little frustrated in missing that shot earlier.
That's right. And I think he got hurt too as he went for that shot in the corner.
That was a strong hit. Hard foul there given up by Nick the Muses. But it seems our referees will not be reviewing it. 33-23. Muntinlupa has had a tough time of trying to chip away at this advantage. Raflores takes the 3. Marcelino is there trying to deny Cortez on the right side. JR puts the ball on the deck. That's another tough look, but gets it off the glass.
You know what made that look tough is the defense was draped all over him. He did not beat that defense to a spot comfortably, and the defense really just kept staying at him. That was John Wilson.
A possible run on the way here for Muntinlupa. Katimbuhan, kick out, Raflores. The smaller Wilson on him. Back to the basket. Raflores got stripped there. 4-on-1 advantage to Nueva Ecija. They go for the 3. Calvo from downtown. That one's short. Lucky break for Muntinlupa. The Cagers will try to counter. A quick transition defense for the Rice Vanguards. Lohera almost traveled. Gives it up. Sarangay threads the middle. And Sarangay could not finish.
And these empty possessions are somehow going to hurt the Rice Vanguards. Or the Muntinlupa Cagers, rather.
Defense recovering for Muntinlupa, making it hard there for Manaytay. The Cagers will run. Foul given up there by JC Marcelino. Empty possessions. Very uncharacteristic for the Rice Vanguards.
That's right. And all because of the efforts as well. Ito yung perfectly timed getting in the passing lane by JC and that strong finish.
That's our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke. Timeout taken here on the floor. The score is 33-25. We'll be right back. Check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. The Muntinlupa Cagers trying their best to come back from what was once a double-digit advantage. Here looking at the steals leader this season, JC Marcelino averaging 3 steals per game. And, you know, despite being a former MVP, that's the reason why he actually has been one of the top players in this league, because he has been excellent on both sides of the floor.
Yes. And all the more that you become more of the team as a player, and the more that you share that rock and that spotlight, so to speak, you know, all the more you're going to be very unpredictable, which is exactly how Phil Jackson explained that to Michael Jordan. That ball is a light, it's a spotlight, and so every time that ball is on you, everybody else is on the dark, so you got to share that light. This is exactly how Michael Jordan started sharing that rock in that famous triple post offense by Tex Winter and the Chicago Bulls.
After that split Kalengkay Puroy Katimbuan, Macaloni gets a jumper from near the free throw line to extend this lead back up to 9, 35-26. Lohera putting the move on Wilson. This is that push shot. JC rejects the screen. Sarangay is there to help out. Hayes comes out and trying to prevent that Macaloni drive. Pero foul may tatawag laban kay Marvin Hayes.
Yun yung parang sa boksingero, no? Parehong southpaw eh. Nagkatamaan eh. But Marvin was quick to pick him up, understanding that he didn't really mean anything there. Talagang nagkataon lang na they were trying to go for the same open space.
Wala naman yatang kaaway dito sa MPBL si Marvin.
Ay, oo naman.
Actually, wala naman ata siyang kaaway kahit saan.
Buong Pilipinas kasi.
Oo,
mahal niya Pilipinas.
Buong Pilipinas eh.
Mahal kita Pilipinas.
A stop by Muntinlupa. Hayes goes up against Celis. Leaner no good. 4 minutes left here in the second. Celis sidestep. The drop pass. Macaloni got hacked there. 2 free throws coming up para kay Will Macaloni.
I mean, your top 3 guys in JC, Will, and Rob Celis are on the same page on the floor. It makes the game so much easier for the Rice Vanguards.
Macaloni, good on the first free throw. You know, Celis is just really so good at delivering those tight passes inside, right?
Ano kasi siya eh? Deceiving siya. Hindi mo alam kung titira na o papasa.
Mismo. And Macaloni has been a beneficiary of a lot of those passes this season.
Well, part of it is because he's just constantly in motion. Si Will Macaloni.
Ooh! Sarangay took a major hit to Will Macaloni.
That's gotta be unspo.
Yeah, at mukhang sa panganatamaan ito si Will.
Gotta be unspo. Well, Mark pretty much was on that trap area again, near the half-court line. Picked up his dribble, had nowhere to go, and landed that elbow right through the chin of Will Macaloni.
Now, do you think that should be an unsportsmanlike foul?
I think so. Well, we'll see how the ref sees this.
Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. After a quick review, Jay Castroverde saying that it is going to be an unsportsmanlike foul laban kay Mark Sarangay. And this just really hurts whatever momentum Muntinlupa has been trying to build.
Yeah, I agree with you, Javi. I mean, the guys inside the floor have trailed, but you know, pretty much inside the compete. And alam naman natin kung anong impact ng mga unspo na ganito, especially you go up against a really good team in the Rice Vanguards. You don't want to give them additional fuel.
Macaloni back at the free throw line so far with 8 points, make that 9.
And Will just continues to with his double-digit production. And what's even more impressive is yung talaga kanyang field goal shooting.
He now leads all scorers in this game, the first player in double digits. More importantly, giving Nueva Ecija a 13-point lead. This is now the biggest lead of the game for the Rice Vanguards. Calvo past the pick, Macaloni travel.
At that time, Will was trying to get a little bit closer. right there through the gut of the lane.
And that sometimes is a problem for him because most of the time when he's really priming up for a shot, nakastagger na talaga yung paa niya. Yung left foot is in front of him. That's
Correct.
why there is a tendency for him when he makes the move going to the basket, nasa shuffle niya yung pivot foot.
Nasa shovel niya. That's right. At saka ang lakas rin kasi ng katawan ni Will Macaloni. So alam mong pagdating sa loob, kung strength at strength rin lang ang pag-uusapan, you're not gaining an advantage over him.
No doubt about it.
He's gonna have the upper hand.
Plus the fact that he is of Cebuano descent, I certainly believe that there is an uncanny strength to actually mga Bisaya in general.
And now that you mentioned it, about that Cebu Greats team right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm very excited to see them at full strength. And definitely, this is now a team that they are proud to parade.
Right.
A lot of homegrowns as well in their roster.
And they were able to push the defending champs to a really good game.
Oh, yeah.
At home.
Marcelino, floater no good. Rebound to J-Boy Gob, who's in the game for the first time. Katimbuhan wanted the drag screen, rejects it. That pass picked off by Calvo. JC Marcelino is off to the races, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's just the defense of the Rice Vanguards. They allowed that roller a little advantage, but they were quick to react once that ball got in the passing lane. Good backdoor.
Tight pass there, but the finish could not be completed by Puroy Katimbuhan. The drop off to Hayes from Matiliano. This time, they get the basket.
Really good action right there. Finding the least guarded guy.
41-30. Oh, they leave JC Marcelino wide open. Good line, just too strong. Another rebound for J-Boy Gob. Nobody picking up Matiliano. Gets into the lane. Oh, travel against Domart.
I guess JP was right there ahead of him on that spot. Good read by JP Calvo defensively.
Ito ang ating fast break of the game. Handog sa inyo ng Extreme X-Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere. Just like JC Marcelino, who could practically take the ball anywhere with that lightning speed.
Oh yes, without a doubt.
And here his twin brother now on the floor para sa kanya. It's JV connecting there with Robbie Celis. Silky smooth jumper from the former Blackwater player.
He's always, on the right spot, making the right decisions.
Lohera trying to make the right decision for Muntinlupa, but he turns it over. Celis with a basketball. He has JV on the right side. Medyo baliktad yung pektos dun sa finger roll na yun. The Cagers with a chance here. They have an advantage in numbers. Hayes got that ball tapped from behind. Matiliano recovers. Gob kicks it out. Hayes won't settle for the outside shot. Lohera, pass fake. Ooh, took an extra step. What is your interpretation of that move, Mr. Perez?
I think that was travel.
So it was the right call, according to my analyst, Coach Mike. Our assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. The Rice Vanguards continue to hold on to a double-digit advantage. It's 13 at the moment, 43-30. Next three games for former champions Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. They will be going up against the Bacolod Tubo Slashers on July 5. A week after that, it's going to be that blockbuster matchup against the Abra Weavers in Palayan City. And then after that, it's going to be the Rizal Golden Coolers next on the schedule of Coach Don Dulay and company. We are live from the Pasay Astrodome, the home of the Voyagers, who will be going up against the leaders of the South, the Zamboanga Sikat right after this game between Muntinlupa and Nueva Ecija. Villarias, after the pin down, they leave him wide open, long on the three-point shot.
Ibang klase yung pagkaka-setup na yun. The double pin down, almost looking like a stagger and a flare intended for really good shooter in Villarias. Patrick has really slowed down here in the second quarter.
Yeah, after that good start in the first, well, they're hoping that he could get something going in the last 1 minute and 17 of this second quarter. Macaloni doubled here by Muntinlupa. He'll kick it out to Calvo. Still a lot of time on their shot clock.
A good defense by Domark right there, staying on that space right in front of Will.
Macaloni somehow finds a way to put a shot up. He's found there by J-Boy Gob.
Actually, kanina pa siya medyo tinatamaan ni J-Boy Gov. And so he was really intent to get inside and get that foul from J-Boy and going to his favorite step-through drop step.
Coach Mark Dandan is on the floor. He is livid. Not happy at all. They're trying to ask paano ba nila didepensahan yun kung pati yun tatawagan yun ng foul.
Yeah.
Warning Muntinlupa assistant coach Mark Dandan for sportsmanlike.
It's clearly the frustration is coming from this is a slower quarter here for Muntinlupa. And it really gets to that point na mapofrustrate ka. You don't have to stop these guys, and you're trying everything that you can. They're quick, they're strong, they're intelligent, they have length. And parang hindi nape-pressure di ba?
Because J-Boy Gob practically had every door shut there para kay Will Macaloni, but
That's right.
still was able to draw a foul. Macaloni has been steady from the free throw line in this game. 12 points in the game para kay Will. This is now the biggest lead of the game for the Rice Vanguards, 45-30. Coach Gino Lodovice and the Muntinlupa Cagers will be facing Pasay, Binyan, and Quezon in their next 3 games.
More tough stretch for Coach Gino. And Coach Gino, we got to talk to him in Pola, Mindoro, when they had a game there. He says, you know, very foundational yung mga sistemang ini-implement niya dito sa Cagers. And so, he loves the effort of his Cagers, pero yung patience, ika nga, it's going to be very important in the result of their campaign this season. So, see another push shot by Miggy Cortez. Pretty much how he scores, really.
Oh yeah, you know, that's his trademark shot. That's what he's been known for ever since his time with the CSB Blazers in the NCAA, coming on over from the Rizal Golden Coolers in his earlier stints here in the MPBL. But Robbie Celis continues to dazzle us with those moves to the basket. 9 points in the game.
That wasn't an easy-looking shot.
He made it look easy.
Oh, yeah. You know, out of balance, able to flip it.
Flores with the rock. Muntinlupa taking a bit longer here and trying to decide. JR, 6 on the shot clock. Flores needs to make something happen. That's another tough look. Might have been blocked there by Celis. Macaloni, 3 seconds left. Macaloni, the runner. Oh, that looked good.
That looked good. That looked good.
That could have capped off a fantastic first half para kay Will Macaloni. But take a look at this Gixer, great move of the game. Born for greatness. He has been nothing short of great this season, ito si Robbie Celis.
He lulled to sleep that defense by J.R. Flores, thinking that he was trying to find an open man. Then that sudden burst of speed and that reaction and that good English of that shot.
How can you stop a guy who dribbles like that? A guy that stands about 6'4", 6'5". 47-32, 15-point lead for the league-leading Nueva Ecija Rice Bandits.
Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya's. That is the most spectacular one-punch set of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way over and goes down again. Straight left hand for Manny. Does he have Cotto in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he backs the straight left hand. And there's the punching bell. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
Welcome back to the MPBL. You are watching our game number 2 between Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards and the Muntinlupa Cagers. My name is Sydney Crespo at kasama ko ngayong halftime Sir Kaiser Galvez, Muntinlupa team owner. Sir Kaiser, thank you so much for joining me here. No, tough task tonight, undefeated Nueva Ecija, but you also have new players like Miggy Corteza and Ladis Lepalam to help you tonight. Anong expectations mo sa kanila?
Well, we're expecting a lot from them, no? Especially sa interior defense. Si Lepalam, knowing yung size niya, no? Sana in-expect namin na makatulong siya, especially sa rebounds and sa mga block shots. And si Biggie naman, fresh from PBA. So, in-expect namin another options for offense, especially yung sa perimeters niya. No? So, sana magtuloy-tuloy, sana makapag-adjust siya ng mabilis para makatulong siya sa amin sa game na to.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Sir Kaiser, and we'll see what happens in the second half. But for now, who do you want to greet?
Well, unang-una pinasasalamatan namin yung team governor namin, si Governor Padilla, for taking care of us, sponsorship niya, maraming salamat. Also sa LGU namin, yung Muntinlupa, headed by Mayor Biazon, si Vice Mayor Teves. Also binabati ko ang wife ko nanonood, si Mary Grace Galvez, ang family ko sa Las Vegas, ang mga in-laws ko, mga kapatid ko. Also yung mga iba pa namin sponsors, no, ang Deuces Coffee, ang Paramount Logistics, ang Agustea and Elberg Ship Manning, ang Jam Shoes, ang aming outfitter Yontela. Yun lang.
Thank you so much rin, Sir Kaiser Galvez, for joining me here again. That's it for halftime interviews. Mga kaliga, magbabalik po ang MPBL.
Just a small boy from streets of General Santos City. No shoes, no food, no chance, just a dream in my heart. From flyweight to junior middleweight, 8 divisions. Thank you. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang bawat Pilipinong nangangarap at lumalaban. This is our victory. This is our story. And the best is yet to come.
MPBL, that just speaks a lot to how he's been performing here. Hindi niya sasayangin to.
Santos with a throwdown. Dennis Santos with a highlight two-handed jam here in the third. Throwdown galing kay Dennis Santos. He had a handful of highlight dunks last season.
Yeah. You mentioned Sidelf earlier, you brought up
12 points in the game, and all the way from near half court, Kit Jimenez
4 of 4 from beyond the arc, trying to steal the thunder from King Destacamento in the quarter. Fine kick, please.
Ayun nga eh.
Second remaining from half court! We were talking about him, Coach Mike. My goodness,
Oh, wow.
Jethro Escoto.
Boy, what a shot made by Escoto.
Hindi ko man kasing tangkad si Richard at si Russell, pero meron ako nito.
Oo, ang bigat ng pagkakabitaw niya na yun. Almost, fading going left and still enough to kiss it on the glass.
The rebound. Both teams still with a timeout remaining. Manalang with the rock. Defended by Santos. Jerome bites on the fake. Manalang for 3. Gets the basket to go. It bounces off the rim.
Yun ang mabigat doon. Hindi lang nakashoot itong passing. 3 points pa ang kanilang ibinigay. Which means, on our side, the chances of overtime, lumingit.
It looks bleak right now.
Right?
But
His energy could be infectious for the
Oh,
last
wow,
2
what a
minutes.
pass.
What a pass! Oh! De Leon, the recipient of that unworldly assist from Keanu Caballero.
What a pass by Keanu Caballero. Guy, he found De Leon. Si Keanu talaga, ibang klase mga pasa. Risky, pero pag lumusot, ang ganda.
Wilson gets it to Robbie Celis, but what a catch and what a finish! And a foul! What a play from the heart and soul of this Nueva Ecija team, Robbie Celis. The smarts and the skill right here. Dalawang veterano na combine doon, Javi.
exactly. You gotta credit the pass to John Wilson. The presence of mind to get it to Robbie Celis, who got good position right there.
Against Salim. Rocky, 8 seconds. Now Chito, 5 seconds. Jaime lost the ball. Tamayo to Manalang. The runner from Robbie! Robbie Manalang with another clutch basket. This time against Valenzuela, it's a 7-point lead for Pasig City with 48 seconds remaining.
From Adamson to the MPBL, Robbie Manalang has broken a lot of hearts with clutch baskets just like that.
Buluto. Sumang with 5 seconds to work with. The dance, the pass, Sena, the 3. Ho, ho, ho! Wow! May konting sayaw, and then the 3 ball just in time to beat the shot clock. 13-point lead, the biggest in the ball game.
What a move here by Roy Sumang. And then Sena was asking for it because he felt that mismatch. He had Ochea on him. He felt that he could have taken him on the post. But Sumang set him up for that 3-point shot.
Andrews comes away with the loose ball. Here comes Ashton Andrews. Andrews lays it in.
Welcome to the Ashton Andrews highlight reel.
Ashton Andrews providing the hustle, the energy, and the bucket here late in the 3rd period. He will not be denied in this play, Javi.
Getting past Kaduyak there, and then the sidestep on the gather by Ashton Andrews. 2 highlight plays. What a quarter para kay Ashton Andrews. Formento has Kanyal on him. Crossover, pull up. Formento knocks it down!
Ano sabi mo kanina? Ang lamig. Di ba? Ang lamig. Umuulan. Ang lamig. Ano ang dapat mong gawin? Tanungin natin si Formento. Hindi. Tignan na lang natin. Between the legs, a little up fake cross. That quick pull-up. No, yung quick pull-up after the cross was enough para, mapaslide, backpedal itong si depensa ni Kanyal, and nothing but bottom. What a big-time shot.
This guy, he has embraced the big moments para sa Valenzuela this season. At the half between the Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards were staking their 16-0 record against the struggling Muntinlupa Cagers. The score is 47-32, and Nueva Ecija has so far been very efficient, and they've been able to break the 20-point barrier in both the first and the second quarter.
Yeah, pretty much efficiency has been the name of the game, especially on the field goals. See the clear difference right there, 48 versus 34%. Pero yung rebounds, really more on the side of Muntinlupa. But again, because of their efficient shooting, they didn't need so much of rebounds para dito sa Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards. And the fast break points, pretty much, if you're not turning the ball over, but when you're missing shots, they're going to run on you. Speaking of Nueva Ecija, that's a plus 10 in that department, favor for the Rise Vanguards.
And one of the leaders in fast break points this season, itong Nueva Ecija, and it has been no different in this game. Muntinlupa trying to see if they can slow down this very fluid Rise Vanguards offense here, especially in the third quarter.
Yeah, that really is the best word that describes how that first half has been for the Rise Vanguards. A lot of fluidity.
Corteza starting the second half along with J.R. Raflores, Mark Sarangay, Kurt Lohera, and Puroy Katimbuhan. A foul against MJ Ayay. Oh, sorry, no, that's going to go against Will Macaloni. Second personal laban kay Will.
Yeah, and this 5 on the floor for the Cagers really going more to experience. Much as Patrick Ramos has done well early in the first quarter, he's been silent in the second, and right now they're turning to their big guns from a veteran perspective. Itong Cagers.
Kurt Lohera making that jumper his first field goal of the game, but the quick answer for Nueva Ecija. And that has been the story of this game. Each time Muntinlupa would get on a mini run, there's always an answer para sa Nueva Ecija.
And they are so good that you're almost not surprised already that there's going to be a run answered by the Rise Vanguards. It's really just a matter of when another run is going to come for them.
Macaloni joined by JV Marcelino, Byron Villarias, Robbie Celis, and MJ Ayay. Same starting unit para kay Coach Don Dulay. Ayay forces up a shot. Almost but not quite.
He didn't make that shot, pero you see the scheme, you know, you get that ball on the post.
Can Muntinlupa pull together a consistent number of stops? Nueva Ecija with the basketball. Villarias double there on the catch. Celis, jumper in and out, nobody boxing out. JV Marcelino, lucky break for Muntinlupa.
Yeah, that would have been a quick putback para dito sa Rise Vanguards. Then pocket pass stolen.
Corteza turns it over. Nueva Ecija on the run. Ayay, bitin, but he was fouled. He will take 2 shots.
Feeling ko alam rin ni MJ bitin yung take-off niya, no? It's either it was too early or he didn't have enough power in that lift.
Yeah, I think he miscalculated the jump.
Pero grabe yung bit-bit. The only one I can recall that has that very similar, you know, bit-bit style is Dave Moralde.
Pareho malaki kamay. We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. It's really easy for, you know, guys with big hands to make those kinds of finishes.
Oo.
Kaya hindi ako nagda-dunk in game eh.
Kasi maliit yung
lang
kamay
kami.
mo. Okay. Si Tikboy maliit rin ang kamay nito, ni Tikboy. Ewan ko lang si Derek Si Derek Freddy mukhang malaki kamay.
51-37, Muntinlupa
Take
with the
it.
basketball. Raflores passes up on the 3. So does Lohera. Katimbuhan was 2 behind for that pass. Turnover spining up now for the Cagers. They only had 11 against Mindoro. Now they have 15 in this game.
And you can't afford that if you're the Cagers. That time, I felt that was a little bit of miscommunication on the trigger actions. You had Lohera driving downhill. I felt that Puroy could have filled the lower corner. And we saw that move earlier, and you know, it just keeps repeating itself.
He just practically weaved his way through the cup there. Ito si Will Macaloni going up against the defense of March De Leon.
Pero nakita mo yung dig-in kanina, yung tumulong, nag-stunt. I'm not sure if that was Kurt Lohera. And he really could not fully commit himself because there was a guy on the 3 spot. Didn't want to leave him, and you have to stay attached. So the primary defender got beat, couldn't help out and rotate, so that finished by Will.
How can you defend against a Will Macaloni? You pressured him, he's going to do that.
Oh,
And you step out, he's
Papasaan.
going to go for that jumper or make the right pass.
right.
Out of Flores, knocks one down. And again, the question here for the Cagers is, can they actually make stops?
See how spread this floor is.
Arcelino in trouble. Gives it up to Celis. Robbie gets past the initial defender. The
man.
drop-off. Beautiful play for Nueva Ecija.
Oh man, these guys are doing a clinic right here. I've always been, every time it's a slot to slot and you have Rob Celis in there, I feel you have the best decision maker at that spot. You have Will Macaroni rolling. He himself is a scorer. You've got shooters on the outside. Really, just pick your poison.
Oh,
See that
here
again.
we go again.
There you go.
Celis to Macaloni. This duo has been working wonders for Nueva Ecija. Not just in this game, all season long. Celis and Macaloni have been the duo that has been counted on by Coach Don Dulay to work their magic and get success para dito sa Nueva Ecija. This assist of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. The biggest lead of the game at 18 right now for the Rice Vanguards.
Welcome back to the MPBL. Inside the dugout, the Muntinlupa coaches emphasize the mental aspect of this game. They want to see more confidence in the second half that they can create opportunities for themselves despite facing Goliaths, ika nga ni Coach Gino. Now, defensively, they need to go back to the fundamentals like putting your hand up and communication. And offensively, they need to be more precise. In Coach Mark's own words, hindi pwedeng bara-bara ang opensa sa Nueva Ecija. He asked them to be more deliberate and intentional on that part. Alam nyo ba, this is Miggy Cortez's first time to meet and play against Nueva Ecija kasi hindi niya pala ito inabot last season and he only had one practice with Muntinlupa before this game. Kaya the coaches understand the adjustment period. Sabi nga ni Miggy, grabe ang galing ng lahat. Nagugulat daw siya sa Marcelino Twins, kay Will at Robbie Celis. Well, sino ba naman ang hindi? Di ba, Javi, Coach Mike?
Tama ka dyan, Sid. I mean, if you don't marvel at these players, actually halos lahat dito sa Nueva Ecija talagang katingatihan at they would really are people who you would really look up to.
Oo. At saka ibang klase yung, I mean, the culture itself. I mean, ibang klase yung togetherness. They have a good set of coaches. The conditioning coach, whose name I failed to recall, has been really good in priming up these guys. And just different guys getting pulled off the bench, each time performing. And when you look at, let's talk about Rob Celis right now. He's on the cup of a triple-double. He's 9 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists.
Doing a little bit of everything. Well, Kurt Lohera for Muntinlupa has 8 points. But still a long way to go here as they try to traverse the journey of trying to get back from a 16-point lead. 4 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. Marcelino gets past the defense there but was bumped after the pass.
That action alone, Javi. If you could see that again, you'd see JV having that drive left side of the floor. You know he's strong going that side. And then you have on the corner, MJ on the weak side corner, you have Villarias. On the weak side post, you've got Jammer Hamito. And a possible dive roller from a slot, see Rob Celis. How are you going to adjust defensively?
That's been the question that Coach Gino Ludovice and his team have wanted answers for this entire game. A good thing they get a stop here.
Which I feel is really the message of the coaching staff of the Muntinlupa Cagers, consistent to that report by Sydney. Everybody's got to stay attached, got to stay committed defensively, because you are at some point going to marvel at how these guys play together on both ends of the floor.
Kurt Lohera once again will troop back to the free throw line. Perfect from the charity stripe in this game, 6 out of 6. He's getting on a rhythm slowly here in the third quarter. 8 points, 5 rebounds para kay Kurt Lohera.
And the thing is, when you look at the field goal attempts, man, it's almost equal distribution.
This free throw of the game brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
Almost everybody is clustered at almost 8 to 5 attempts per game.
And these are the numbers of Lohera along with Mark Sarangay in that blowout loss the Mindoro Tamaraws in Pola.
Well, Kurt tried to even Mark tried to continue what Patrick really started, but it was at that point in the third quarter when the threes were really falling from you don't know who. Almost everybody was knocking down three-pointers, and I mentioned names earlier. As you see, ito Puroy Kantimbuhan down.
He's still flinching in pain. He gets up slowly. Ayaay forced to put it up, and then MJ Ayaay with a wonderful shot as the shot clock was expiring.
Heck, even MJ Ayaay is 45% from three. And the very few times that he's taken a crack at a three, it's almost half of it is going to go in.
Almost a stop for Muntinlupa, but Ayaay bails Nueva Ecija out. Those types of plays just really demoralizing for a team that's been trying to get back in this game. It was a solid screen set there by Hamito that decked ito si Puroy Katimbuhan.
Oo. Grabe yung misdirection naman kasi dun sa baseline out of bounds na yun.
Blindside screen eh.
Yeah. And just when you thought that ball was going to go ball side, the attack release was on the weak side.
Patrick Ramos has not yet made an impact here in the second half for Muntinlupa. Hayes swings it to the left side. Matiliano. It's a screen from Sarangay. Hamito switches out, gives him space. Domark Matiliano from the outside.
That might just be one of the purest execution for the Muntinlupa Cagers. A slot ball screen involving your strongest screener in Mark Sarangay and your best three-point shooter in Domark Matiliano.
Now watch this. Matiliano was able to drain the three, and then watch Sarangay against is that JC Marcelino. That was a foul. And now Muntinlupa within 13 points.
At saka alam mong tatama yung screen na yun kasi hindi naman three-point shooter itong si Mark Sarangay. So no way he's gonna slip that screen. He always is gonna find a way to free up his teammate.
JC, the former MVP, drives left, puts on the brakes. Hamito blocked by Hayes.
Good defense.
That's a shot clock violation against Nueva Ecija. So the stops starting to come now for the Cagers.
Yeah, they're getting stops. Now you gotta convert on your end, get some points off of it. Points in the paints have been what, plus 26 in favor of Nueva Ecija. That's 40 and 14. Really just shows you, a lot of ball movement.
Ramos heavily pressured here. That's a foul. Which Marcelino is it going to be on?
Now, I like this attitude of Patrick Ramos. He's taking it to the Twins. Those were JC and JV from the backcourt trying to trap him, but he just continues to play, keeping that ball alive.
JC will be called for the foul. And he gets a warning here. He was really disagreeing with the call. Here's what happened.
They trapped that side.
And then JC goes over there to help. Ooh, but
didn't
not
look
really
like
too
it, yeah.
sure about
Yeah,
that.
didn't
Parang
look-
hindi natamaan eh, no?
Yeah, didn't look like it. Sa ano pa nga kanina, feeling ko yung kapit ng inner arm ni JB na, impeding the intent of Patrick going one way.
Yun nga rin yung tingin ko eh. And that's why Coach Don Dulay will challenge this one. We'll take a short break.
The challenge has been nullified. The last foul was on number 19, JB Marcelino.
So the challenge has been nullified. Tama tayo eh. Hindi tumama talaga si JC, but it was really JB who was in the way of Ramos there. There's the push.
Yun. Kasi there were two instances. One with the inside arm leading the movement, and the other was that bump. So it was clearly a case, Javi, of mistaken identity.
Oh, for sure. I mean, ikaw ba naman, Coach, di ka ba malilito na
pero may number in jersey.
At tatawagan mo ng foul? Eh, syempre, Coach, may number sila pareho. Pero pag magkadikit sila.
Yeah. Actually, yan rin ang tanong ko dati kala Chief Sedelpe. Paano nga rin ka nalalaman outside of the game kung sino si JC at saka sino si JB?
Kasi identical twins sila eh. The only differentiating factor for me, aside from their jersey numbers, is kaliwete si JC and right-handed ito si JB. Kaya tama ka dyan eh, off the court. How would you know?
Kaya kanina parang ika nga ni Shaggy, ang mention itong kambal is, it wasn't me. Right?
Jammer Hamito scoring inside there para sa Nueva Ecija.
He's taking advantage of that late rotation.
Under 4 minutes to play here in the third.
Yeah.
Ramos. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Behind the back, Patrick Ramos leads in and scores! Tough finish for Patrick Ramos.
Oh, wow. You see that finish up. Left hand draped the defense all over.
9 points in the game for the former JRE Heavy Bomber. But the answer by another former MVP in John Wilson, that was a three-pointer. 64-49. Muntinlupa just can't seem to fight off these Vanguards.
Yeah, mabilis na sagot para sa Rice Vanguards in that situation. Oh, you love this Patrick Ramos right now.
Oh, he is determined, but he turns it over there. Good thing last touch on John Wilson. So Muntinlupa with 5 seconds to get off a shot. This is our play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. That was a very tough angle to work with.
At some point, that's gotta land in the top 10 place of the week.
I'm pretty sure about that. Not a lot of people can make that. Ateliano misses from way downtown. The shot clock was winding down. Marcelino picks up his dribble. Manaytay now on the right side. He hasn't been playing a lot in this game. Ito si Christian Manaytay. That's because Will Macaloni has been splendid for Nueva Ecija sa laro na to. Matiliano comes up with a steal and is fouled. And you will give Domark Matiliano 2 free throws.
Ito, nagugustuhan mo yung effort nito ng Cagers right now. They forced the Rice Vanguards to their 10th turnover. And more importantly, Patrick Ramos, he's playing unfazed. He's not afraid. He's confident, and he's just bringing it to the Rice Vanguards. This young man is actually performing real well for the Cagers.
Mataliano will take 2. Ron Lastimosa checks back into the game para kay Coach Gino Ludovice. The 2 minutes and 48 remaining in the third. Still a huge chance for the Cagers to drop this lead to about maybe 8 to 10 points going into the fourth quarter. 2 for 2 para kay Domark Matiliano, 64 to 51. Puroy Katimbuhan looking to check back into the game. Matiliano will take a seat on the bench. JC Marcelino into their front court. Manaytay against another lefty in Hayes. Spin, the pass, the finish. Galing kay Billy Ray Robles.
Everything just basic basketball right there. You drive down the gut. You always have that weak side corner, do a basket cut. And exactly how
The
Billy
helper,
did it.
right?
Right.
That's exactly what Muntinlupa did not do. Hayes getting a score inside. The offense has been better. The looks have been more decent.
Right.
But the defense has been still inconsistent here at best para sa Muntinlupa.
And I think that's more of the movement of the Rice Vanguards. That backdoor cut from the corner guy really puts a lot of strain on the weak side defender. He's got to cover either that dive or a shooter that's gonna drift to replace him on the corner.
And that's why you have to be very wary of those weak side movements. Hayes dives for that ball. Hayes will go all the way. He's hammered there by Jamar Hamito. And Marvin Hayes did not like that at all.
And Marvin was playing a lot of effort on that last play. He just didn't like how, he got attacked on that shot.
Ay, hinataw talaga siya. Definitely no play on the ball.
And both players very hard-nosed. And Marvin, as good as he is, at some point he didn't like that foul. That pretty much looked like a play on the head.
Yeah. Natamaan siya sa may bibig eh. It really has been a very frustrating night for Marvin Hayes. He's been struggling from the field, although he has 6 points already, but he has had to bleed for his points.
Yes.
And you have to understand that he had to dive for that basketball before that shot attempt.
Exactly. And nakita mo yung effort kasi niya, He's been doing all the dirty work para dito sa Cagers, closing out on shooters, having to go up against a very tough interior passing of the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. And, that at some point is going to spill over. Much as we love how Marvin Hayes has been, sometimes the heat of the moment comes to you.
For excessive hard contact. Technical foul on Marvin Hayes. Technical foul on Jomar Hamito. Both were unsportsmanlike behavior.
And there you
Jomar
go.
Hamito had a
He's
technical
out.
foul, combining with unsportsmanlike foul and out of the playing
Hamito
court.
will now be ejected from the game dahil natawagan na rin siya for a non-sportsmanlike foul. Or for a technical foul rather.
So
In that sequence, yeah.
Yeah, those two combined, he's out. But the big question now is, what does this do to the Cagers? Does this wake them up? Or does that steady flow and poise of the Rice Vanguards continue to, exist for them in this game?
And there you go. That was the hit.
Yeah.
Galing kay Jamar Hamito. So 2 free throws plus ball possession.
Yeah. Nanggagaling rin kasi si Marvin, tingin ko dun sa, ang ganda na ng pagkakascreen ni Market. In no way you're getting to Marvin Hayes. But for you to get over and go over Mark Sarangay without that possibility of getting a block for that shot, that's what he didn't like. And fair enough for Marvin Hayes.
15 out of 21 now from the free throw line. Itong Muntinlupa. Hayes goes 1 for 2.
Pero kung ikaw naman si Coach Gino, gusto mo yun dahil,
Ay, syempre
it
naman.
wakes up a little spark in your team.
And that's what Marvin Hayes brings to a team. That fire, especially on the defensive end.
That's right.
Ramos, shot clock winding down for Muntinlupa. Sarangay wants it off the glass. Not really the right angle there, but a foul called against Nueva Ecija on the loose ball.
Oh, I think that was on the cage.
Oh,
Marvin Hayes, right?
Hayes will be called for it. Okay.
Yeah, because John was trying to elevate for that defensive rebound, but Marvin Hayes pushed him from the back.
Well, both teams have already been over the limit for the last couple of minutes. So Wilson will be taking 2 free throws here. Oh, uncharacteristic miss from the free throw line galing kay John Wilson. Currently with 5 points. He had 17 against Cebu. And he really was actually the main cause of that surge after the Coach Don Dulay might say, you know, a run that he was unhappy about.
That's right. And right now, the Cagers got to play with a lot of defense, because when you look at their games, when they win, they score roughly 84 points. When they lose, they score only 67. And at the rate they're going right now, they're at 54 with almost a minute and a half in the entire fourth quarter coming. They got to score real quick in bunches here and not allow more points for Nueva Ecija if they want to steal this one from the Rice Vanguards.
Flores missing badly on that 3. Muntinlupa only with 3 3-pointers in this game. Wilson.
Good effort.
Pass picked off by Katimbuan. Flores is ahead. Wilson will give up the foul. 2 more free throws para kay Poroy Katimbuhan.
I felt Poroy already had J.R. Flores running that middle lane. It was technically like a one-on-one with Nick right there, but Poroy chose to drive middle, and so he got fouled. That would have been already a quick outlet over to J.R. Flores.
Oh, Katimbuan
man.
missing on the first free throw. 15 out of 22 now itong Muntinlupa from the free throw line. Katimbuhan is only shooting 59.1% this season. 1 for 2. 67 to 55. 60 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
And the thing is, Poroy's rarely got into the line. He's only gets there roughly about 3 per game.
Oh, Marcelino sees a lane and makes something out of it. Silky smooth para kay JC Marcelino.
Sobrang suabe, untouched, leaner of a left-hand finish on the right side of the floor.
Back to a 14-point lead. Hayes
There you
playing
go.
2-man game with Patrick Ramos. Stolen by the Rice Vanguards. Robles left that one short. Lastimosa chases it down. Ramos in transition. Hayes
Nice pass.
cutting through the middle. Misses it. Flores fouled on the putback attempt. 2 shots para kay J.R. Flores.
The Cagers are actually making the right plays. Defending on one end and finding an open guy the other way. They're just really not making it. At least for those last 2 sequences, defense to offense.
Well, at least they haven't been in that deep hole like they were moments ago. The lead was 18 para sa Nueva Ecija kanina.
There's another Superman right there.
Sidelined for this game. Oh, both free throws missed by J.R. Flores. Tosi Tancinco also the inactive roster. 5 seconds left.
Oh, man.
JC Marcelino up and under.
Oh my God.
Kulang lang ng konti yung pektos doon.
Pati ako nagulat.
Pati siguro siya nagulat na sobrang libre.
Oh, grabe. Everything but the make.
These are highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration. Ramos has been spectacular here para sa Muntinlupa, but he has been limited in the third quarter by the defense of Nueva Ecija, who have really been stifling the Muntinlupa Cagers in this game. 14-point lead for the Rice Vanguards heading into the fourth quarter. Check out our Gixxer fans of the game, born for greatness among the spectators here on a Monday night at the Pasay Astrodome, the venue for our Monday triple header dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Good evening sa inyong lahat na nanonood on Facebook, on YouTube, as well as on Solar Sports. This is Javi Bananya, joined by Coach Mike Perez. Muntinlupa so far down by 14 points against the league-leading Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, who are staking their immaculate 16-0 record sa laro na to. And so far, so good for Coach Don Dulay and company.
Yeah, pretty much.
Coach, Boss Emer Oreta and Boss Rudy Distrito on the sidelines here at the Pasay Astrodome.
And I'd like to say, when we were in Pola, Mindoro, I love the conversation we had over dinner with the coach and Chief Rudy.
Ay, marami talaga silang kwento. Kaya masarap pag, pag out of town, pagkasama sila, matindi talaga yung kwentuhan. By the way, before we get things going here, we'd like to greet our statistician and his wife. 34th year wedding anniversary to Gilbert Aranda and Zoraida Santa Ana Aranda.
Sweetness overload.
Grabe naman yun.
Grabing
Kakilig
sweetness
naman
naman
yun. Quarter scoring right there on your screens. It has been a very sweet ride offensively for Nueva Ecija in this game.
Oh, yes. And pretty much everything going well para sa Rice Vanguards. And I guess we can say that the third quarter was pretty much a better quarter for Muntinlupa, showing a lot of fight.
The first time they were able to get past 20 points as Nick Demusis gets in for the putback. Riza Diaz in attendance here. Of course, the better half of Nick Demusis. She has always supported Nick in every game so far. And JV Marcelino breaks away. Ito ang naging problema ng Muntinlupa. Those turnovers have been a thorn on their side.
And remember when we talked about earlier that when is that run gonna come? And right now, this seems to be it. The screws are tightened by the Rice Vanguards. Full court pressure.
It's such a terror to be terrorized by these two twins in the backcourt. Fast break of the game there, brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig. Free installation for split-type air conditioners. Again, happy 34th year wedding anniversary to Gilbert Aranda and Zoraida Santa Ana Aranda. Grabe naman yun.
Oh. It's so sweet. You have to hear it twice.
Yun na nga eh. Mukhang masarap ang luto pag-uwi ni Gilbert.
Tingin ko rin. Oh, wow. Good free.
Kurt Lohera knocks it down from the outside. Only the fourth three-pointer in this game for Muntinlupa. Well, actually, both teams have not been able to drain a lot of three-point shots in this game.
Both Cagers actually holding their own, but you got to play a lot of defense and be
Ramos.
very good. Oh,
nice help defense shown there by the Muses that made it hard
yes.
for Patrick.
And you like the effort of the Cagers here.
Oh, JV did not realize that the shot clock was nearing 8 seconds there. That's a violation against the Rice Vanguards. A rare one for them in this game. This three-point shot brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Kurt Lohera.
And again, another good decision right there by Patrick Ramos. You know, the hockey pass leading to that pass.
73-58. 15 ang inahabol dito ng Muntinlupa. Katimbuan with a hand in his face. Off the heel. Rebound collared there by the Muses.
And
Macaloni. Go ahead, Coach.
you know, I was gonna say that was another side ball screen with Will Macaloni and JV.
Katimbuhan steals it away from Macaloni. And Poroy will win the foot race. 73-60.
I'm sure some of the locals of Muntinlupa are loving the effort of their Cagers. At isa na dyan, isa sa assistant coach na dating assistant coach rin ng Cagers, si Coach Jerry Andaleon, who is right now in Tagaytay with better half Mimi watching the games. Sana all nasa Tagaytay.
Happy viewing po sa inyo, Coach. And I hope you're enjoying the cool weather right now. Huh?
Oh, yes.
Lalong-lalo na sa Tagaytay.
Yes.
Katibuan here with the steal and gets to outrun Will Macaloni, but his Cagers still down by 15 points here because of this basket made by JC Marcelino. Another breakaway to the hoop for the former MVP. 10 points in the game para kay JC. We'll take a short break. Check out our LGR fan outfit of the game. Oh, lovely families. Seeing the action here inside the Pasay Astrodome for our Monday triple header dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. It's day 87 already. Can you believe that?
Ang bilis, no?
Parang kailan lang nag-opening tayo sa Ilagan.
Oo nga. Bilis, grabe.
That's what they say though. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Oh, yes.
Are you having fun?
Ay, definitely. Gulat nga ako, fourth quarter na itong game na to.
Dominic Montiliano with a rare basket. He has struggled to put points on the board. 75-62. Hindi mabababa nitong Muntinlupa itong kalamangan ng Nueva Ecija. They go on a short run pero may sagot parati talaga itong Nueva Ecija.
Oo.
Marcelino, hesitation, takes it to the cup. Gets fouled there by Mark Sarangay. It has been a lingering problem for Muntinlupa how to defend JC Marcelino going downhill.
Oo. Ang importante dito, nakikita mo yung effort nitong Cagers. Hindi basta tumitiklop. Ano? I mean, for you to be able to stay, you're down what? Just 13 points against the very efficient Rice Vanguards. And I tell you, the Rice Vanguards have tightened the screw. Pero ito lang ang kalamangan na meron dito ang Rice Vanguards sa Muntinlupa.
Well, the nice thing about Nueva Ecija is when you try and take away that movement of theirs offensively, they have lots of guys who can improvise and create situations for themselves.
Oo, totoo yan. Even parang to your point, even if you abandon the system, you would still have really good basketball players making good decisions and good reads.
You're right. There's a foul away from play. And Muntinlupa, you know, they're not the only team that's had problems with JC Marcelino this season.
Yeah.
All teams have had problems with JC.
Yes.
All 16 of their victims.
Yes, very true. And you love the composure of Don Dulay. You know, some coaches might have gone, hey guys, this is just the Muntinlupa Cagers. They've lost their last 4 games in double digits. You know, you gotta pound it. And iwanan natin yan. But he understands, you know, this is also a tough Muntinlupa Cagers team that is really just bringing the compete to them.
Patrick Ramos arguing that he got all ball there, hacked JV Marcelino. It's such a lovely sight watching these twins go in the open floor.
Yeah, but you equally love the Cagers picking up their opponents after the twins go down. At the end of the day, you know, you love to compete, but it's really just basketball that brings these guys together.
They're not going to challenge. Coach Gino Ludovice almost did. 2 free throws right now awarded to JV Marcelino. Marcelino knocks down the first. Hey, Coach, you know, JV Marcelino has now stepped into that main point guard role para sa Nueva Ecija. How have you seen him fare in that role for Coach Don Dulay?
Well, I think he's doing real good. I love the support as well that's given by their team, and it's only a matter of time before you know you get more production, not just from him but even from the other guys. And importante rin talaga yung buy-in ng mga players. Kurt, that's Miggy with a 3.
Offensive rebound to Montiliano. Ramos almost traveled. Shot clock did not reset.
That was definitely a travel right there. And just like we talked about Coach Don Dula, about Coach Gino and Coach Mark continuing to, guide the young man in Patrick Ramos.
We're now approaching the halfway point here. And timeout will be taken by Coach Don Dula and the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. 17 ang kalamangan dito na Nueva Ecija. Check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Balik tayo dito sa Pasay Astrodome for our Monday triple header. Happy viewing to everybody watching on Facebook, YouTube, and on Solar Sports. Good evening to everybody. This is Javi Balanya joined by Coach Mike Perez and Miss Sydney Crespo. Nueva Ecija enjoying this double-digit advantage. They've enjoyed this lead throughout the game. It's really been a dominating showing once again para sa kanila.
Agree. And again, yung fluidity on the offense, yung tightening the gaps and the screws defensively. Coach Vince Harder just got a tech after, he was trying to be heard. Saying that there wasn't a foul on that last call on Patrick Ramos as he got ball.
Celis gets the ball with a pressure release, but Hayes now heavily guarding him on top.
9 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists on the cups of a triple-double. Can see Rob Celis.
Oh, look at that handle by Celis. Lemuses the extra pass to JV. Marcelino misses from the outside. Robbie Celis with rebound number 10. Celis puts it up, loses it. JV, tough look, gets fouled there by Marvin Hayes.
And once again, the coaching staff of the Cagers did not like that.
A late shot clock situation.
One can argue that there might have been that foul on Rob Celis instead of this one.
JV will be testing his unblemished record from the free throw line here. 4 out of 4 now. 81 to 62. Time slowly slipping away here for the Cagers.
And, really just staying in control.
Matiliano, Corteza, Hayes, Sarangay, and Peroy Katimbuhan. This unit on the floor will try to make a last-minute surge for Muntinlupa. That's a foul against JC Marcelino.
I still feel that for the Cagers to come out victorious in their later games and even this one, you have to have really good volume shot attempts from your top scorers like Roy Cantimbuhan, Domark Matiliano, and even Patrick Ramos and Kurt Lojera.
Pero ikaw ba, Coach, if you were to decide, if you were the coach of a team here in the MPBL, if you were to decide yung schedule ng team mo, would you have the same type of schedule that Muntinlupa had? Yung medyo teams at the bottom of the team standings ang unang mo makakalaban, tapos yung malalakas bandang gitna na?
It could work both ways. I mean, if you're a team like Muntinlupa who parang late na rin na form itong team na to, you'd like for the lighter assignments muna as you try and build up your your habits, your traction for your team, and so that by the time you get to the top tier teams, more or less ready ka na, no? It's really a matter of conditioning the mind that we're building up because the schedule's going to get tougher mid of the season. Now, if you're already a built team, you're ready for anything. Nueva Ecija, I'm sure wouldn't matter kung sino yung unang makakalaban nila. They wanna go at it immediately, and it's always it's cliche to say that in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. Really, that's how it is. And I think ito rin yung takeaway dapat ng Cagers dito sa laban nito.
Oh, Cortez's pass picked off there by JP Calvo. And the turnovers, coach, that has been one thing that Muntinlupa has not done well in taking low that number. Only 64 points so far for Muntinlupa.
Tsaka yung nakikita mo yung usapan na defensively para dito sa Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Kumbaga, don't worry, man. You stick to your guy. If you get beat, I'm gonna be there. Oh, what a pass.
Oh, the Muses could not finish trying to get his own miss back, but that's off Mickey Corteza. So, even the breaks of the game, coach, not really going the way of Muntinlupa.
Sabi nga ng mga some of the really good coaches, you have to be very good decision makers to win a game, and two, you have to have luck as well. And that time around, it wasn't on the side of the Cagers.
Katimbuhan getting a rare basket in transition there. 10 points now in the game for Muntinlupa's lead point guard.
I gotta take
Chan
that.
is in the game for the first time. Almost drained that from the outside.
One of my personal favorites in trailer threes and on slips, Tyrone Chan.
March De Leon getting that jumper to go. Well, ito si Tyrone Chan talagang magagamit mo rin talaga eh. Dahil may tira sa labas, he can really mix it up inside. And a very serviceable big man defensively as well.
Yes. Kasi yung mga bigs ng Nueva Ecija, like you look at Will Macalon, you have Christian Manaytay, Tyrone Chan, among others. When you give them the ball up top, they can decide for a high-low. They can decide to attack if they want to. They can decide to shoot. They can to initiate a side weave or little Chicago action that side of the floor. And there's a different ways that they can actually get themselves involved, not just to be staying up top and receiving the ball. Which is why, si Will Macalonians, I got to watch the last season, the Pampanga versus Nueva Ecija, that home game in Nueva Ecija. Will Macaloni was single coverage on Balti Baltasar. He had a hard time, but so did Balti Baltasar, until such point that really just the firepower really coming in.
Well, he definitely has a lot more help around him this year, especially at the big man spot. Well, Nueva Ecija has really shored up the roster in every position possible. As Corteza drains his first three-pointer of the game. 13 points pa rin ang lamang dito ng Nueva Ecija. Under 2 minutes to play in this game.
And you know, one other guy who has actually benefited stint here in the Rice Vanguards, which I feel has really responded well, JB Bahio from last season.
And their scores for Nueva Ecija, extending the lead to 15. Lohera knocks it down from the outside. Back-to-back threes for Muntinlupa. It might be a case of too little, too late for the Cagers.
Right. We said it earlier, when the Cagers win, they score roughly about 84 points. When they lose, they score only 67. Right now, this is so much better than that 67-point output for the Cagers. And so, at a certain level, you have to appreciate the effort of the Cagers as well.
Ramos able to get it off JP Calvo there.
21 seconds to shoot.
Tama naman yan. Talagang, they don't mind what quarter it is, who they're going up against. They are going to stick to their principles of play. We will make it difficult for you to bring down the ball, and that's the plan, regardless what the score is.
And I think Coach Don Dulay, putting in his shock troopers this early before the game ends, really a testament to how he trusts every player on this roster.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
A minute and 12 still to go in this game. Nueva Ecija ahead by 12. Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards looking primed for their 17th straight victory against the Muntinlupa Cagers. The leaders of the South, the Zamboanga Sikat Families brand Sardines, go up against the Pasay Voyagers on their home floor. Their newest member, Carl Brian Cruz, will be seeing action later on. Hayes for 3. Prior to that, Muntinlupa was able to hit back-to-back from the outside. JP Calvo will definitely try and slow things down, try to get as much clock down as possible.
And si JP Calvo, no stranger to system ball. Plays a lot of in teams, a lot of good schemes. Couple of lefties that side of the floor.
Lohera launches off the back iron. Dodo Narenas tapping it to Tyrone Chan. It's crazy to think that JP Calvo is your second, third string point guard.
But asahan mo, pag come the big games, he's gonna earn those minutes. He just needs to, see first how things run and how he's gonna fit in with the guys. And I don't think JP is gonna have a difficult time doing that because, as we mentioned at the top of the coverage, this is a very selfless team that plays with a lot of togetherness and a lot of joy.
Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards, they bucked the ejection of Jammer Hamito earlier. It was just definitely a struggle all game long for the Muntinlupa Cagers. Another dominating victory for Nueva Ecija. They stretch their unblemished run to 17 games, and they continue to be the only team without a loss this season. Muntinlupa, meanwhile, drops down to 10-7. Our best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. From start to finish, Will Macaloni was fantastic for Nueva Ecija. 22 points on 8 out of 10 shooting from inside the arc and 6 of 9 from the free throw line. 4 rebounds as well for the Cebuano big man. Will Macaloni sparked that run for Nueva Ecija at the start, and he was consistent until the final moment.
Yeah, we also would like to acknowledge the effort of Rob Celis. Almost got to a triple-double, 9 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. Just good overall game as well for Rob Celis. But Will Macaloni just really got into it from the very start of the game.
Let's go courtside to Miss Sydney Crespo with our player of the game, Will Macaloni.
Thank you so much, Javi. Coach Mike. Will, congratulations. Best player at season high ngayong gabi, no? Yes, season high po ngayong gabi. And you know what? Coach Don said Muntinlupa has the pieces to try and pull off a win tonight. That's why it was very important to have the best mental approach mula sa Nueva Ecija. No? Anong nagbago ngayong gabi compared nung last game?
First of all, nagpapasalamat ako kay God sa panalo binigay sa amin as a strength. And yeah, we all know that Muntinlupa has a pieces, so nag-ready lang kami incoming of strong teams, makakalaban namin. So yun, I'm thankful ako sa mga teammates ko, they trusted me on the shots.
Nakita ko gulat na gulat ka sa season high mo, no? But it's also been a very challenging but successful month of June para sa Nueva Ecija. Still 17-0 after defeating Pampanga, Zamboanga, Cebu, and tonight Muntinlupa. Kamusta ang pagod mo ngayong buwan? Alam ko, nakadalawang best player ka at again season high ngayong gabi.
Okay naman kasi during practice we're ready naman, and we don't play basketball complacency. We don't take easy. Mahina o malakas yung ano namin, kailangan namin mag-ready sa mga strong teams.
Well, you have a very exciting stretch in July, no? I'm sure aabangan yan ng ating mga kaliga. Sino gusto mong batiin at pasalamatan?
Binabati ko po si Boss Bong Cuevas, Ma'am Rian Cuevas, Ma'am Vian Cuevas, Boss Ivan, Ma'am Jen, family ko sa Cebu, Bartolabag family, Panilag family. Happy birthday kay Dada Sinon, mga bibe. Si Vera Boys, happy birthday kay Jessica, tsaka kay Kim na nod ngayon, tsaka yung sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta sa Nueva Ecija as Vanguards. Thank you.
Thank you so much and congratulations once again. Will Macaloni is our best player of the game, brought to us by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Sid. 17-0 for the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards as they continue to lead the league. Up next, we have the Pasay Voyagers defending their home floor against the Zamboanga Sikat. Maraming salamat for joining us for our second game, and we hope to see you once again sa ating main game just in a bit. For Coach Mike Perez and Ms. Sydney Crespo, this has been Javi Palanya. Keep it locked in here on the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.